table. And the player must call his shot before he shoots. The first player to bank 5 balls wins the game, and 3 games wins the match. Well now, maybe it's not as simple as it sounds, but it's all brought to you by Diamond Tables, designed by players for players. Simonis cloth, authentic, accurate, always. AccuStats video, watch the game on DVD. Chalk Off, the complete pool table cleaner. And the Billiard Club Pro Shop. For all your pool and billiard supplies, visit billiardclub.net. You're watching Bank Pool on Billiard Club TV. And now, here's your commentators, Tony Anagoni and Danny DiLiberto.
The Billiard Club Network presents the Derby City Classic 9-Ball Bank. Our feature match tonight is Ike Reynolds and Jason Miller. And Danny, what do you think about these two guys?
Well, Ike isn't really that well known, and neither was Miller last year, but he really played super. I mean, and in fact, I call him Killer Miller.
That's
how he played.
You know, one thing I failed to mention was I'm here with Danny DiLiberto, and naturally Danny is well known and he's an expert in all games, and I'm fortunate to be able to do this commentary with him because I learn something about pool every time I visit with him. I've got a little bio information on these guys for you, Danny, and Jason Miller is from Dayton, Ohio, and as you mentioned, he won the tournament last year in the banks, and he finished high in all categories recently in the Gulf Coast Classic, and he's 33 years of age. Ike Reynolds is from the Chicago area, from a town called Kankakee. He's 51, and he's a well-known one-pocket bank pool and expert 8-ball player, especially at the bar table level.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something about Miller. I mean, he won last year, but just saying he won is leaving out something. I mean, he won with power. I mean, very convincing power, and I was very impressed. But anyway, this is the Bank Pool Division, the 7th annual Derby City Classic. Bank Pool is always first, and we're in it now, and I think we're down to about 40-something players after 409. Going to end tomorrow. We'll have a lot of exciting matches, and it's really a pleasure to be back here. And like I always say, I look out at that room with all the markers with the pool balls and everything, and it's like a postcard to me. And every year that I come back here, it doesn't seem like a year, Pat. It seems like it's the next day.
So you can't wait to get here is what you're saying.
I like it. I really like it. It's a good, colorful tournament.
Well, you know, the format here is an interesting one. It's not double elimination. It's single elimination with one opportunity to buy back in the event. In this case, I believe the fee to play was $75 and then a $50 buyback. There were down to 19 players in this event, all the way down from 409, I believe. And the format is 3 out of 5, best 3 out of 5, 9-ball banks, and it's winter break. So the emphasis is on offense, but by the same token, the converse of that is safeties take on a higher, pretty high value, it seems to me, Danny, when you're playing a short race like this.
Oh, it does. Okay. And how do you like that last shot he shot?
Fantastic.
You know, I mean, he didn't have a real full pocket, and had it clipped the 3, it wouldn't have counted. That's the kind of game this is. There's no luck, no chance, no combinations. You can't billiard another ball. It's really something else.
Well, you know, the interesting thing here is that Jason is from the Ohio area, and you know some of the people that he played around or may have been influenced by from that area, older players, and in their day. And Ike is from the Chicago area, and I think their styles, from what you're telling me, is probably going to be different because I know Ike fairly well, and I know he's a conservative player, likes to play lots of safety, traditional, that style. I guess they call it bumps there for bank pool. That's the slang term I've heard. I understand this guy's an offense man.
If someone wants to make a game with your player, he says, you want to bump some?
You want to bump some. I like that, yeah.
Okay, what is the score of this one here? 2-1 Reynolds?
I believe it's...
First game?
2...
Yeah, first game.
2-1.
And speaking about, he's from Chicago. I always talk about Kentucky is the bank pool center of the country. South Chicago is pretty close. They play a lot of bank pool.
Well, I think if you were in Chicago and you told them that about Kentucky, you'd have to get your gloves on again, Danny, and I think vice versa. They're pretty proud of their heritage in these games, in this game.
Uh-huh.
Stay tuned for more Bank Pool Championship from the Derby City Classic on Billiard Club Television. The game starts with a clean table. Get it clean with Chalk Off, the official pool table cleaner of the U.S. Open 9-Ball Championship. Just spray it on and wipe